Now let's talk about sustainable water management with Sabrina Farah Salsabila, CEO of Reserve O Air. So thank you so much, Sasha.
Sasa, yeah.
Sasa, thank you so much for coming in on to see today.
Yes, thank you also.
All right, so let's talk about Reserve O Air, which is a specialist in sustainable water management. Yes. Can you tell us about what's behind the establishment of the company?
Yes, thank you also see today for inviting us. And so for me to speak with non-Indonesian speaker, I have to explain that the air means water in Bahasa, so it's not the air that we breathe. So it's something that always hook their attention that, okay, we're gonna talk about water. So basically because my background is from environmental engineering, so I study like wide range of environmental issues, and one of them is water. And like the one topic that really caught my attention was about the water management, especially like how to implement zero runoff and also the scale solutions of solving the flood problems. And also at the time, I was also continuing my study in Netherlands, which also the country that we're always looking up to if we talk about water. And at that time, one of my co-founders also has been selling this Porblock. So Porblock is come from the university research. It comes from laboratory, and our ambition is to how to commercialize this kind of innovation. So it doesn't only stay in the laboratory, but we can also sell, and people really want to buy it and implement it. So we met like in the incubation program, and then we at that time I also have this startup called Solusi Banjir, and it's also from, do you know the flood problem in the 2020 in Jakarta, the New Year's Eve? Yes, that's what the one event that triggers the Solusi Banjir. And then the Solusi Banjir merged with Porblock, and then we come up with Reservoir in 2022. Yeah, so it comes from the university research and how can we solve and also contributing to solve the flood problems with innovations.
All right, so you mentioning Porblocks, and I'm guessing that's the product that we're seeing right now. So explain what's the difference between the two and the black box right there.
Okay.
So what's going on?
Yes, so this is Porblock. It is a permeable paving block. It has porous features.
Okay.
So when we implement it, the water can go directly, and then it can also infiltrate to the soil. Okay. So it can reduce two problems. The first one, it can reduce the runoff to the environment. Can you imagine that when there is rain, back then the rain will, also the water will be infiltrated to the soil or to the ground. But now because of the concretes and also all the buildings, we don't have it anymore. Okay. So that's why by implementing this, we can still have the buildings, and we can still also have the rain that's infiltrated to the ground. Because like in Jakarta, for example, we use the groundwater so much, but we don't really replenish it, and we don't make sure that the water availability will always be there. And the difference is this one is we call it like a rough surface, and this is the one that more smooth, because like some people want it to be like more beautiful and more aesthetic in their building. So they also want maybe to customize it with colors and also the shapes. It's also possible. And this one, because like we focus on water conservation, so it's not only Porblock, but it's also called the infiltration well. So it's not the regular infiltration well, maybe sumur resapan that you always see in the daily life, but it's like our also innovation how to make it not really complicated for people, because like sometimes people, if they want to implement infiltration infiltration well, I mean, it takes too much work for digging and etc. So we make it like more simple, and also it can be also integrated with this Porblock. So we have Porblock above, and then the infiltration well like this in the below.
And then that's strong enough to, because that looks like made out of plastic.
Yep. This is still pilot actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So we also like to test like what kind of materials that is really suitable for this.
All right. So you're still testing it, it out. But are they already being used right now? Can we see actually an example of your product on real life at the moment?
The Porblock itself, it has been implemented in Jakarta, Jabodetabek, and also West Java. And especially it's also interesting that we see growing demands in Bali, Lombok, because like there are lots of village or hotel that really have this awareness of environment problems. And maybe they also have this like eco hotels, something like that, and they're really interested in implementing this. Especially Bali has water problems, and they also want to conserve the water. And also some demands from Sumatra and Kalimantan. That's also interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So again, it looks like it's just like any paint block that we can find anywhere. So what is the problem? What's the problem that currently that we're facing, and then how is this pore block actually the solution for those problems that we're facing?
Yes. So it had, as I mentioned, it has porous pore block. It has porous features. So when there is rainwater, it can directly absorb to the soil. The first one, it can reduce the inundation and also the load to the drainage near our buildings. And also it can infiltrate to the ground, so it can recharging our groundwater. So we can make sure the water availability, the groundwater that we use is still available for like our children and also our grandchildren. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, is that the problems that we're facing right now, or like what's the number, or like what was the study on that case that you see like? Oh, this is a problem that it needs solution.
Yeah. So the most interesting also data that like more than 70% of disasters in Indonesia is related to hydrometeorological. So it's related to the water-related disasters. And second one, when we talk about the flood problem.
I'm sorry, before you continue, you say 70% of Indonesia, not Jakarta.
Indonesia disasters. Indonesia's disasters.
Indonesia as a whole.
Yes.
Okay.
It's related to water. And then the second one, when we talk about the flood problems, it's a very complex problem, and we always see sometimes from a river, for example. We have the upstream, we have the middle stream, we have the downstream, and it has to be a lot of solutions, and it has to be integrated. And a lot of also the solution that has been implemented by the governments, and it's really good. And I'm really interested in these small-scale solutions that also can help, and also it also emphasize on the individual contribution of the people. So we all can contribute in solving this problem, especially in urban area, by implementing this because we can recharging the groundwater, we can reduce the runoff to the environment. So yeah.
Interesting. Now you mentioned 70% of the damage in Indonesia is to, but again, when we go outside of Jakarta, of the big cities, you know, they're not on pavement yet. They're still on the ground, and then you mentioned that how the water needs to directly to the ground. So how is this gonna be solving if they're not even on the pavement just yet?
Yes, interesting question. And we Reservoir Air, most our products is mostly for the urban areas. Yes, I also agree with that. But our main narration is how to conserve water and how to restore the natural water cycle. Because like maybe you remember the one that you study in elementary school, we have the evaporation, we have the precipitation, and then it comes when it was raining, it will come to the ground, and etc. The natural water cycle. And right now, currently, it's also disrupted. Like it's not like they used to anymore, the conditions. So how to restore natural water cycle, and it's like there are a lot of measures, not just this, and we can also like you know, customize in the areas. Maybe for example in rural areas it's more suitable for doing the conservation measures, for example like planting trees or something like that.
All right. So you know, every problem usually when we introduce a new technology, one of the main problems is the price point. So how much is to produce any of these pore blocks comparing to just regular pavement block or anything?
There's also difference in the price. It's also a little bit higher, like 40% higher for the price. So that's also our challenge. How can we mainstream this product? And most of our this also implemented like in the school. Parking areas and also like the city park mostly. So we have so many city parks that has been implement pore block like in Cibinong, in Depok, and also in Bandung some parks.
Okay, so what? The price to lower the price point, as you mentioned, you need to more commercialize, meaning like what? Factory or what's going? How do you want to reduce the price?
We have manufacturers, and it's located in West Java. And currently, we also have some research and development, especially how can we also make use of waste. That's also interesting. So we not just talk about the water issues, but also we can tackle the waste problems. Currently, we have two. Like the first one, how to make this pore block from the recycled aggregates. So from the pore block that has been used, maybe we can recycle the waste and to make the pore block, this one. And also the second one, how to also add strength for this pore block, and we also collaborate with other startups for that, with graphene. Yeah.
I mean, I love the answer that
yes.
you guys gonna use waste, but at the same time, would waste cost more to create this block?
Yes, hopefully.
Oh, it's gonna cost more?
No. It will maybe we hope that using waste, it also can lower the price.
It's gonna lower the lower price. How much do you think it will? Like, have you?
I don't know. Maybe we hope that it's because it's on the lab.
Okay.
On the lab, yeah. But we hope that it can at least like on the same price with the conventional puffing block.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's already a technology out there that actually can use the waste to actually.
So maybe there are also other companies that produce puffing block from waste, but they don't have the porous features.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they just regular puffing block. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what we're going to do. Like maybe from waste, but it also has the features.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Sasa, thank you so much for sharing with us here on See Today.
Thank
and we'll
you
look
also.
forward, and maybe we're already stepping on one of those.
Yeah, maybe in Jakarta.
Right. All right, that was our conversation on sustainable water management for Today Business Talk. You can stay connected with us on Instagram, X, and YouTube. Our handle is @CTodayNews. We are also available online at ctodaynews.com. Let's stay connected.